I want to make one thing clear from the onset of this, top of this video. Despite the links that I'm presenting here, I don't hate the US military. I don't hate anybody's military, though I don't like the operations they're going for, but I come from at least 2 generations worth of soldiers, if not many more than that. I have a great respect for the military, but what I don't respect is the fact that men and women are getting raped in the military. And I don't also respect the fact that there are people who are willing to stand up and say that women just are not cut out for combat. Women cannot handle it. And especially that there is no rape problem in the military. They always handle it right, and that women are crazy or lying or making it up because they got sand in their vagina. We cannot have a proud army if we cannot understand when it has problems. When they're spending way more money to fix the gay problem or fund studies to find out what we could have told them for free, that this was not going to hurt morale in terms of homosexuals serving in the military. And in fact, all this time they've been worried about homosexuals, they haven't been worried about situational rapists who rape men and women as their chances, their opportunities permit. And they don't just rape once. These aren't isolated incidences. These are people who sometimes form rings of people, like the pedophiles or the predators out there that everybody correlates with rings. And just like the rings that people tend to ascribe to pedophilia, these people will rape people, and if they find that they are quite rapeable, will pass around their photos and try to trade victims and try to get situations to where new rapists are alone with the victims, meaning that one person can have multiple rapes from multiple people. Oh, right, but they were wearing their half shirt that day. They were asking for it. They were sluts. Everybody knows that they are a non-person because we say they are a slut, and therefore they are incapable of being raped because they are sluts. As stated by myself and Wachter when talking about things like rape and rape culture, we don't care if this woman was stark raving naked. It does not matter if she's sitting by the side of the road masturbating. At no point does she give up the right to say no. At no point do you have the right to rape her. Full stop. Unfortunately, my Politico link is down at the moment due to maintenance, but it'll still be, shoot, okay, I can't, it's talking about how we need to do better by our veterans, and I wish that this one was up here, but I'm going to keep moving along through parts of these ones. The raw story. Survivors meet Civil Rights Commission on military sexual assault with cautious optimism. This was from January 11th, and so you can see how far back it's been that I've been wanting to talk about this. The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights held a day-long briefing in Washington, D.C. on Friday that examined the progress the military has made in addressing sexual assault within its ranks. All branches of the military were asked to testify about what they are doing to address the problem, and though the briefing highlighted that the military had made major progress towards addressing issues of sexual assault, it also indicated it still faces numerous challenges. Vice Admiral Nana M. Ranzi, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, I mean no disrespect, testified that, quote, the Navy remains steadfastly committed to being in front of this problem, eradicating sexual assault within our ranks, and ensuring that sexual assault cases are prosecuted through a fair, effective, and efficient military justice system. You mean the same fair, effective military justice system that has failed so many women and men throughout history of the military before? I mean, if they mean it and if they are doing it, then by all means, that is praisatory towards the Navy. But if they are not, if they are only acting like they are, but the boys' clubs are still in place, if people are still, victims are still being called crazy, or women's rape kits are being sat on until the statute for the case runs out, and then suddenly saying, Oh, you mean that rape kit that's been under me this whole time to steady the table? How could I have misplaced it? But you know, sadly, the statute on your rape case is expired, so my bad. And then, does anything happen to the person who sat on or mishandled or mislabeled the rape kit? No. So when it's convenient, things like rape kits just magically disappear. Except when some of these people do their own independent research, they find out that not only is it there, it's been there, waiting to go to trial, but has not been called for or called upon. But no, that's justice. That's being fair and balanced now, isn't it? That's treating these victims who are, by the way, getting shot at for our freedoms. These victims who are experiencing people who, this isn't just a military problem. These people then go out into the public and they can rape in the public. And we're willing to just offhandedly waive these people. Some of these people even get medals and get promoted. Obviously not medals for raping. And then there's situations that get set up so that they can say, oh, her memory is fuzzy, Your Honor. She was drunk. She was probably a horny drunk. Or she's a slut. She's a this. She's a that. No, the moment that she cries rape, she's no longer somebody's mother. She's no longer somebody's wife, or somebody's girlfriend, no longer somebody's daughter. She's a slut, and we're going to do everything in our power to basically make her drop the charges, or we're going to sit on her rape kit and make sure that it never sees the light of the day in enough of a time to be able to persecute the person and get this woman her justice. Because you know the sick thing about all this? If you're defending this kind of practice, I'm not talking about when you're ignorant of it. Honestly, I can't blame you on that. But if you're defending this practice, then you are, as these women describe, compared to the humiliation, compared to the pain, compared to the after effects. In a way, the critics were kind of right. The rape wasn't so bad. Getting it persecuted, getting medical treatment for, in some cases, an attack that's so brutal, it's dislocated spinal columns, it's dislocated jaws to the point where the jawbone is resting on nerve endings. And these women can't get fixed. They can't get prepared. They can't even get their damn benefits because they've been thrown out with a less than honorable discharge or a dishonorable discharge. Meanwhile, the person who did brutalize them is steadily climbing that ladder and still being allowed to rape. Nothing about this is okay. Pentagon, 52 rapes per day claim is inaccurate. There's a Politico had reported about the 52 rapes per day kind of thing in here. There's a link that's by the Pentagon trying to refute those numbers. But let's be honest here. I've already talked, it's bad enough when it's the women. And it's bad enough trying to sort out actual rape versus the times that a woman has decided that she's going to use the law to get back at somebody. And I'm not trying to defend that practice at all, not one iota. That's as disrespectful to this situation as not persecuting the rightful rape of a woman, in these cases here. But if we can't get accurate numbers of men because of the gender roles, because these guys are laughed at, because we care about the pain and the suffering of the women when it's convenient for us, but we don't care about the same exact pain and suffering for the men. Like, what are you, a woman? Walk it off, soldier. You were only raped. It's not like you were a woman and were raped. So just walk it off. We'll handle this if we decide that we feel that there's anything to handle here. And yeah, just buck up. Walk it off, soldier. How many of you are going to feel like, as a man, when you're situationally raped as a man, are going to feel like coming out and talking about this. So the Pentagon may be right, but that doesn't mean that there may not be close to that number if you count the actual amount of male-on-male rape that's going on there.